Want to talk about a far-right conspiracy theory. In other words, whenever the word conspiracy theory is used, nearly 99.9% of the time, it is true. Like, it is generally true. Because I've heard time and time again from the government, Helen McAtee, that every asylum seeker is being checked, being looked at, the identities and things. And News Talk basically come out with this bombshell, which nobody's surprised. Everybody knows the government is lying to us. They lie through their teeth. Obviously this is this is for last year, just to say this is going by News Talk, and this is the mainstream media. The mainstream media are literally admitting it, even though they're saying it's the far right conspiracy theory, and it is the truth. Like, let's ask the question: how can you check 100,000 people or more that's coming in the country? How can they go through a background check? How could they do all this? And especially when they're coming to the country and they're destroying their documents, and some of them don't even have it at all. Like, they don't even have a document at all. They haven't destroyed it. They just don't have any document. They refuse to show them. So, as this article says, and I will put in the link in the description, 4,712 people arrived at Dublin Airport. This is just Dublin. This is not even counting Cork or maybe Shannon or God only knows ferry ports. We could be looking at maybe 10,000. And the government says everybody's been to 85%, as the article say, people turning up don't have documents or don't have false documents. So, Helen McAtee, explain yourself, please, because, everybody's being checked apparently, fuck me if like who you're trying to cod here, like who are you codding here, because everybody knew the government is lying through their teeth. We all knew. We didn't need proof to know it. We honestly generally knew that they were up to some shenanigans. But I'm just going to say, if I was going off to Australia now in the morning as an Irish person, you would not get into the country. You'd be sent back if you didn't have a passport. They would threaten to send you home on the first plane back to Ireland, and they would tell you never to come back. Or if I was going to Canada or something like that, I would not be let in. So why is people being let into the country, even if they're claiming asylum, but why are they being let in and without the basic necessity, not even the passport, just even with documents saying who they are and where they're from? And some of them are presenting false documents. So this is the question we need to ask: what do they have to hide? Particularly, why would you hide your identity if you turned up in the country? If you have nothing to worry about, if you've done nothing wrong in any country, if you're not on any watch lists or anything like that, why would you hide your documents? And why would you be seeking asylum in the country and expecting them to give you a house, a free house, or anything like that, and you won't even give the name of who you are and where you've come from, why you're here? It's not there's something suspicious about that, because if I was going to a country now in the morning, I wouldn't have a problem in giving the authorities in whatever country my passport, my name, my identity, and I'd be able to say, go in and check with An Garda Síochána in Ireland who I am. I'm not on any watch list, so into that. I wouldn't have a problem. Simple as that, and I would abide by the laws of the country, because they have to protect their borders. If I turned up to Canada in the morning, I have to go by their laws, because I'm expecting to be let into their country. I have to go by what they say, because I'm a guest in their country. You have to abide by their laws. 4,700 had neither no or false documentation. So that's a lot too. 4,000 is a lot of people. Meanwhile, this is the worrying thing. Meanwhile, of the 2,591 mayors who claimed asylum at Dublin Airport last year, almost 87% with false documents or no documents at all. So that's very, very worrying. Particularly, we see a lot of young men and stuff like that, and the percent with false documents. As I say, if you had nothing to hide, why would you be destroying your documents, or why would you not be even presenting any documents at all? Nothing whatsoever. And it's not a far right conspiracy theory. It is generally there. It's the evidence is literally there right in front of us. It's literally beforehand. You maybe could say it was a far right conspiracy theory, but the majority of the time when it's a conspiracy theory, do you remember Hunter Biden? The whole media were up in arms saying, "Oh, it's a conspiracy theory. They're trying to discredit them and stuff like that." And that turned out well, didn't it? That changed very well, because then they were like, yeah, we lied about that. The FBI and all that lied under oath and stuff like that, just to get Joe Biden elected, etc., etc. But no, it is very worrying, because especially the government is saying everybody's being checked, and this just clarifies that not everybody's being checked. It's not all up to standard. As I say, anyone who turns up to the country, it's the same if I went in the morning. Now, I couldn't expect any government in the world, to me turn up to a country and expect them to let me in. And then, not even that, if I was claiming asylum, expect them to give me social welfare, expect them to give me a free house, expect them to give me this, that, the other, when I won't even provide why I'm here, who I am, etc., etc., etc. I wouldn't have a problem if I turned up now in the morning in Timbuktu, I'd be able to say, here's my password, here's my identity, here's my birth cert, etc., etc. Here's all the proof you need to know who I am, and you can check out who I am on Interpol or whatever if you want to. Because that is very suspicious. Like, we all have to admit that it's very suspicious if you will not provide your name. And especially when you're looking to get into the country. Like, again, they have no obligation to let you in if they don't know who you are. Simple as that. It's the basic security. It's the basic security that you need to do. And it's not far right away, etc., etc. But it's the basic things you need to find out who they are. And especially when, this is the worrying part, when they won't pretend that they destroy their documents, or that won't even have fake documents, pretending that they're a different person. Like, if you had nothing to hide, why would you do it? Simple as that. This is the question. Nobody's ever asked this, but why would you do it? Because if why would you do it if you have nothing to hide? If you're a genuine asylum seeker that's coming from a country that's a war-torn country and stuff like that, why would you generally have a fake identity or not have any identity at all? Why would you do it? Why would you do it? What would you have to gain by it? Like, if you're a genuine asylum seeker who's coming to you on genuine reasons, why would you do it? But nobody's ever answered that question. Nobody's ever wanted to answer it. But I leave the link in the description. Like, it's quite literally here from the Department of Justice, the figures. It's unacceptable. It's truly unacceptable when you see this. Especially because this is what they admit to. You couldn't trust the government to tell you this. But they are admitting to a lot here, so it's probably a lot higher than what it is, because you simply couldn't trust them. They would give you half of the figures because they wouldn't want to admit it. But it's basically, the conspiracy theory is right, apparently. All the time, nearly 99.9% it seemed to be right, But this was just published today too. But Helen McAtee says every effort will be done to clamp down on people doing this. They said that before, long ago, and it doesn't seem to be going... Well, you couldn't trust them, first of all. If they tell you they're going to do something, you couldn't trust them to do it. You simply couldn't trust them, because at the end of the day, the actions speak louder than words. And at the end of the day, they're just wishy-washy, hoping that people don't say anything and sit down and shut up, and they can bring in their hate speech law to arrest you if you disagree with them. That's what they hope for. So let me know what you think. And again, it's not... But it's just basically calling out the government, because they have said time and time again, I'm sick of listening to it, that everybody's being checked, this is being done, that's being done, everything's being done, this, that, and the other. And, if this is being done, then this shouldn't be happening. Like, it's understandable. Some people will slip through the cracks. I will admit that. There'll be a few hundred that slip through the cracks every year. That's understandable. You simply cannot be doing everything 100%, basically. It's understandable, but it shouldn't be this number. And particularly when they're just let in, they're not told to go back on the plane and go home, or to wherever they came from. Because generally, if I went on the plane now and I'm on to Timbuktu, first of all, I shouldn't have been let on the plane at Dublin Airport if I went from Dublin Airport and didn't have a passport, didn't have any identity. I shouldn't have been let get on the plane in first place. Say if I turned up to Norway in the morning and presented myself to the Norwegian border guards without any documentation, they could simply say, go home. Go home, get out of our country. You have no right to be here. We don't know who you are. You could be a terrorist. You could be this. You could be that. And you have every right to take that, because if you won't show your documents, then why would you expect them to just let you once into the country? And it's just basic. It's just the basic border security. Like, that's it. It's just basic security. Like, it's simple as that. We wish people could be genuine and just be truthful and stuff like that. But unfortunately, we live in the world nowadays where people are trying to deceive people to get their way and stuff like that. It's not the way it was years ago, where you could trust people. You can give them the benefit of the doubt. Nowadays, unfortunately, you can't do that. And the same with the government, you can't give them the benefit of the doubt. People have given the benefit of the doubt to the government for far too long, and they've basically just threw it back in your face. Simple as that, for far too many times, may I say. People have given the government the benefit of the doubt, same as myself, and the government just shoved it in your face, then punch you in the face. That's what happens. Thank you.